Hey, it's Matt here, and I want to ask you a question. It's come up twice to me recently that people tell me, hey, you work so hard, you don't spend time with your family, you don't spend time with MJ, and I feel like I spend a ton of time with my kid. Now, certainly I'm also dedicated to what I do every day, but I spend a ton of time with my kid, and I ask you, how do you make sure that you're spending time with your family? And this is always directed at guys, it seems like. Hey, guys only spend an average of 9 minutes a day truly with their kids. And I'll tell you how I do it. So when my little guy was born, he had colic, and I'm an intense guy. I bring energy everywhere I go, and I thought that when I came home, maybe I was causing discomfort in the house. So what it led me to do is to take off my suit right away and put all the technology away, so I'm just there with my family. Now what I do every day is when I can, because, for instance, tomorrow I got to leave home at about 4:30. I'll get home about 8. On Wednesday, I have to do the same thing. I'll be home at 8. But today, for instance, I spend as much time as I could in the morning. I got 3 or 4 hours with them. I'll do the same thing on Thursday morning and Friday morning. And then as much, I'll spend 3 or 4 hours with them on Saturday. Then I'll get all of Sunday. And I try to use the recipe of how do I get 3 solid hours with my little guy every day, where it's almost one-on-one, where it's just with him. And so that's kind of the recipe, is how to get 2 to 3 hours a day specifically with my little guy. And then with my wife, I always get about an hour and a half at the end of the day that we're just connecting, her and I. And so I try to put away my technology, I take off my suit, and I submerge myself in my family when I'm there. And so I was just curious, how do you make sure that you're spending time with your family? What's your recipe? And if you need a recipe, then try mine out and tell me if it works. But ultimately, I try to get 2 to 3 hours a day of solid time with my little guy. Now, certainly like tomorrow and Wednesday, that time will be taxed a little bit. But what's your recipe for success with your family? Because it's not about time management. Time management's a skill. And if you try to manage your time's going to own you. And I believe it's time ownership, is how do you own every minute down to every second and create the most amount of value for yourself. And I know that when putting stuff away like my phone and taking off my suit, it actually creates more energy for me to make sure that I am fully spending time with MJ and my awesome wife. So that's what I do, is full submersion, 2 to 3 hours maximum. Not maximum, I try to maximize that 2 to 3 hours with one-on-one and being fully there by putting away the technology and taking off my suit. What do you do to make sure you have success spending time with your family and spending time with your work?